I'm beginning to wonder if cops are doing this on purpose. Welcome to Escaping the Echo Chamber. Recently, there has been some video shared on social media showing an Asian guy being held by a black guy, and eventually two other black guys come up and smack him, hit him in the face. The initial story was that this was an incident of anti-Asian violence and anti-Asian hate crime, and that this is part of a larger trend that has been going on. What are we going to do about this? But some more information was revealed about the situation. Part of that information was that the black guy holding the Asian guy says, no, I wasn't attacking him. I was holding him because he attempted to sexually assault a woman on the train. Took him off the train. I was holding him for police. These other gentlemen came along, found out why I was holding him, and as one of the gentlemen says, oh, you nasty, man, you filthy. I got sister, daughter, like, nah, and proceed to hit him. So now it changed from a narrative of anti-Asian violence to vigilante justice. But there's another component to the story that I don't think is getting enough attention, because later on, some additional questions were asked, some additional information was revealed. According to the individual holding the camera, who's filming this, the guy holding the Asian guy says, hey, somebody get the cops. A young woman, by the way, this happened at Fulton Street Station. If you're in New York City, you know Fulton Street Station is one of the biggest, one of the busiest, one of the most central New York City subway stations in the five boroughs. Why? Because of how many different trains and train lines converge at this one location. Additionally, on top of the subway station, there is a mini mall which has Dunkin' Donuts, other restaurants, newsstands, Shake Shack, WeWork. There is so much activity at the station, and you will constantly see police inside the Fulton Street Center, the mall portion, in the subway portions, on the street, all over the place, there are police. So when this young woman goes upstairs to get the police, she shortly comes back downstairs and says they're on their way. That's what she says. For some reason, police don't show up till, from reports, 20 minutes later. 20 minutes later. Like I said, this is one of the busiest subway stations in the city. One of the biggest hubs of subway activity in the city. In the five boroughs, 20 minutes it takes the cops to show up. Okay, now the Asian guy talked to the Daily Mail. Oh, I didn't do it. I'm the victim. I didn't sexually assault anyone. I didn't try to sexually assault anyone. And they've described him as a plumber, an HVAC worker. And he said, I was sleeping and then somebody just dragged me off the train. I don't know what was happening. Turns out he does have a criminal record. Some reports had said that he had a criminal record that included sexual offenses. Another source said, no, he doesn't have sexual offenses. But what appears to have been confirmed is he does, in fact, from his own mouth, he says he has drunken disorderly conduct charges and the like. He also said that he had been drinking before and he was sleeping one off. I find that interesting because if you were inebriated, this might be a prelude to certain behaviors that could get you in a situation where, hey, get your hands off of this woman. Just saying, just tossing that out there. If he was inebriated, this might explain a couple of things. But I want to focus on the cops. I want to focus on the fact that the cops said they were coming, from reports, didn't show up till 20 minutes later, from reports, and why it seems like this seems to be a recurring theme. And not just in New York City, but we'll talk about New York City right now. Why it seems to be a recurring theme that when it comes to a turnstile jumping, so somebody's evading their fare at the train station at a turnstile, cops will just jump out, show up out of nowhere. But when we've got actual violent crimes, police, help, police, where are they? Makes me wonder if the cops are perhaps on some kind of unofficial slowdown. If perhaps this is the cops' way of sending a message, say you need us, and then don't question us. Is this what we're dealing with? Are we dealing with the NYPD conducting a slowdown to try to push forward policy changes that they want and to decrease any level of accountability and scrutiny that they may have been under? Is this their way of saying, if you don't back up off of us, we're going to let everything go to hell? And some may say, see, that's why we need to back off the cops. And I'll say, no, 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 no. That shows exactly why we don't need the cops. Because if we got people that are going to attempt to hold us hostage, basically extorting us, either you do X, Y, Z, or we don't protect you, say, guess what? Don't protect me. I'll protect myself. That's the best response. Because if somebody is trying to be held completely unaccountable for anything they do in exchange for protecting you, why don't you just protect yourself? Why don't we just start saying, okay, wait a minute. Supreme Court's about to make a decision on this New York gun law. This might come in handy very soon. Because I can imagine a New York City where people are armed and are able to protect themselves, and where the police become obsolete because, wait a minute, I don't need you to protect me. I protect me. Then we don't have to worry about threats from crooks or crooks in blue. As always, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. But if you disagree with me, if you think I'm wrong, if you think the cops are the good guys and I need to stop slandering the boys in blue, New York's finest, feel free to give me a thumbs down and tell me, why do you back the blue when they clearly don't back you? I'll see you next time.